Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and it's Brick Hall o'clock, whoop whoop, with one package from bricklink.com that we didn't get to last week, and a package from Christoph in Kirkseon. So clearly we have to do Christoph's package first, and Kirkseon, I've looked on the map, is near Munich in Germany, or München as they call it. I don't know why we call it something different, but we do. And, it's quite a big package, so should be really good. Here we go. We've got a letter, and then we've got, lots of paper bags. Now, because these rattle an absolute load, and some big bricks, I'll probably read the letter and then open the bags whilst paused. But anyway, we've got a lovely picture here with me and presumably him. Hello Robin, here is another parcel from east of Munich in Bavaria. In my last one, among other things, was the reptiloid with the four-eyed snake head, if you remember. I do remember him, yes, I haven't used him yet. He's in my undersea pile. This time it so happens that I was visiting my parents. My mother earnestly admonished me to tidy up and clean out my old childhood room. I'm almost 50, but that's how mothers are. Yep, they don't change, do they? I dug through my old, almost 45-year-old Lego boxes and selected some bricks for you. Thanks very much. Most of them might not be anything special, but anyway, maybe the ones with the old prints. That does sound exciting. I look forward to seeing your city continue to grow, up into the clouds and down under the sea. Keep up the good work, and as always, it is appreciated, and many greetings to Mrs. Hood. Best wishes, Christoph. P.S. Some bricks and plates need a wash. I've never done this before. I don't want to do anything wrong, and you're the pro. Washing Lego bricks is really simple. You just do them as you would any other normal washing up, really. If you have stickered pieces, just don't let them soak too long. I usually do them with a nail brush if they're very dirty indeed. And then the speech bubble bit on the bottom of this letter says, "Poor me. Oh, Robin, I'm getting older and older, but you still look the same as the day I saw you for the first time. What's your secret?" "A wash every now and then works wonders, my honourable." That's very good. So thanks very much for that, Christoph. I'm going to open these and then we can have a look at what's inside. All right, I've got rid of all the paper bags and I've tried to look at the contents as little as possible, kind of averting my eyes while I did it, so we've still got the proper reaction when I get to them. So I'm going to start with the front middle pile, where we've got loads and loads of printed bricks. And these shell ones really stand out. The yellow ones are great, aren't they? Just really pops. And there's 4 of them as well, which makes for, probably a rail carriage, I presume. And all these little ones. And those ones look really old. I've never seen those before, but they could be used for cargo quite easily. And they're just fantastic. Really vintage, those, I believe, because that must be the older version of the logo. Wow, fantastic. It'd be really interesting to look up all of these shell bricks and see where they are in the catalogue and what sets they belong to. Obviously, if you don't know, Shell were the sponsors of all of the Lego petrol stations and things like that throughout the older years before they invented their own brand of Octane. So that just shows how old they must be. But yeah, they're looking pretty good. In need of a clean, but in pretty good condition underneath, I think. We've got a few headlight bricks here, a police one, and some nice vents from the sort of space range, I believe, in blue, grey and white. Pretty much all bases covered. That must have come off there because there's even more shell and some doors. I like those as well. So maybe we could do a little vehicle as well, maybe a tanker vehicle rather than just a train carriage. That's good. More space ones. I've used a few of these on that space hopper train wagon. Ice cream one, another vent and another headlight bricks. That must have come off there presumably. Got 2x2 with Lego on it. Some Legoland ones. I used to have these when I was growing up. I used to just make a little sign saying kind of you were entering Legoland, and it just have a 1x2 underneath it. So that brings back some memories. But lots and lots of Lego boxes that could go for my Lego store, couldn't they? Or maybe in the cargo yard again. So they're really useful. Some really nice, good quality as well. Space ones, classic space with arrows on for well, it wasn't the monorail, was it? I think it was the one with the, what was it, the Space Station Alpha or something, where they had the rocket that went out on the big conveyor so it could launch away from the station. Had those and these control panels, I think. And the 1, 2, 3, very useful, especially if you want to do another station or something. Ooh, even more shell ones. Fantastic. Then some computer screens, including the inverted one. I've used a few of those on my space tower for the classic space floor. That was really good fun, that actually. Oh, and more arrows as well. So yeah, we've got 4 of those. Yeah, I might be able to think of something to use them on, or even just to decorate either my classic space train wagon or my classic space tower floor, because one floor that's completely sort of done on the old school system, a little bit more. Maybe they'll make it even better. And an old school telephone as well. So that's a really good start. And that's just one of 6 bags. So I'm going to go directly back because I've seen a classic spaceman. Yes. And it's a black one. I don't have a black one. I used to back in the day. I used to have a couple of black ones, but I don't now. And the gold has faded on his chest. It always does, but it's quite intact. It's not been scratched off or anything. So I think I've got all the normal colours of Spaceman now. And the new series minifigures, there'll be a brown one as well, which is quite interesting. So yeah, I was thinking of doing a video on my views of the upcoming 2023 sets and minifigure series. So let me know if you want to see that in preference to a build video one week. But that's great. You can't believe how much I need one of those. So that is a really good addition. And then we've got a couple of blue ones, it looks like. Blue one. Wow. And a yellow one. Oh, and he looks in really good condition. Look, there's even gold on his chest. Yeah, these two have gone to the usual sort of white. Yeah, so he's really good condition. And a proper original old yellow one where the helmet's a slightly different shape and everything, rather than the ones that are yellow that I've got that are from the more recent sets. That's really, really nice to have. I'm going to have to do another classic space build now. Oh, wow. Now this is a very interesting piece. I mean, look how weird it is compared with modern ones. It's got odd connections on the bottom. It's made of 2 different plastics, but sort of one being an insert in the other. And if you look inside, it's a canary or a budgie in a cage. And I've had this piece on my wanted list forever, because when you see a piece like that, you just think, yep, I'll put it on my wanted list. And then if a store ever has it and I don't, see it straight away, it'll flag it for me and make it, make it so it makes its way to my basket. But yeah, I've never actually seen one in the flesh. It's a good size, actually. I'm not a big fan of, in real life, keeping birds in cages because it seems a bit harsh to me, rather than flying around where they live naturally. But yeah, it's a very nice piece. So that could go in my exotic pet store or, well, in any residential place, really. Very nice indeed. Thanks very much for that. I don't know how rare they are, but I've never seen one before. A couple of motorbikes of the old school variety, one in yellow. And I think, is this the one that turns? No. No, it's a separate piece though. And that, I think, is a relatively rare piece, especially in that unblemished condition for the sort of windshield, sort of visor bit on the front. Yeah, I really like those. I was thinking a while back to actually use one of these to make a motorcycle arcade game, where it's sort of strapped on and you're kind of looking at a screen like that, and you just sort of put in your money and sit on it and maybe lean a bit. So yeah, I might still do that. Video cameras or space guns or whatever you want to call them. One in black, which I've got a few of, but this is in old grey, so that's a good variety. That's nice. And loads of metal detectors in, one in new light grey and 2 in old light grey. One of those for a sort of security camera or an old school robot body. One of the bendy pipes. A couple of antennae. And some people. That guy with a zip. Sort of a biker, I suppose. We've got, the shell guy. There we go. So there's the torso that can go with the rest of the shell stuff. Fantastic. And then some civilians. Fantastic. So that's really good. Then what's this? Oh, right. So I think this must be homemaker stuff. We've got a great big pantry cupboard with 2 shelves on the inside and some drawers. So these are really big versions of kind of ones you can get nowadays. So I have to think how I can use those. I mean, that's huge. It's almost like a walk-in freezer, that one. And these drawers are a bit too big for minifigures, aren't they? I mean, they could almost climb inside. Maybe they're huge filing cabinets. So yeah, ideas for how we can use those. They're very interesting indeed. Big blue plates. Golly, that one's faded. That's clearly had something built in the middle of it. In fact, they've all got a bit something on them. But I might be able to use them at the very least for structural work. Some big black ones as well. They'll be useful. 4 massive, great big wheels with the axle centre. Now, I think I had a space kind of rover, I suppose, back in the day. I think it had 6 of these on, 3 on each side, with a middle bit that kind of had some props so it could go separately from the ends, which would zoom around. And I might be right in thinking that these were the wheels on that. They were definitely quite big and chunky. But we've got 4 here. I don't know what they'd do in a city. Not quite monster trucky, but very big. So maybe ideas for that. Oh, wow. So we've got some real trans-yellow classic space stuff here. So we've got the sort of cockpit piece with the connection point. And these are getting hard to get, I think. So if you want to do a classic space build, you really do need some trans-yellow plates. So that is setting us well on our way. And trans-yellow bricks. Oh, and then these are quite good and hard to get without them being chewed. Trans red and trans yellow old school aerials as well, or antenna. Yeah, really nice. This is really bringing me back to my original collection as a child, which sadly I don't have anymore. And then we've got some clear bricks, and I use clear advisedly because they're a bit murky, but that's kind of how they were even when they were newer, basically. And I think, that's all right in a way. You could almost use that for a bathroom window or something like that, where it's supposed to be opaque and you just can't see inside, but you want to give the impression that there is something behind it. Yeah, so we could have somebody having a shower behind there, couldn't we? And then to this pile, where we've got loads of the hinge bricks in old grey. Oh, a motor. Now, I don't know if I've got a way of powering that. I mean, I can play around and try it with power functions, connections and all sorts, but none of those are the special bricks. I think you need to stick wires in the back of there. And it says, does that say 4 volt on it? Yeah, it does. So, yeah, I'm going to have to look that up and see how to power that if it's 4 volt. I don't know how you can get to 4 volts using AA batteries because they're 1.5 each, unless it's 4.5. Yeah, so I'll have to work out how on earth I'd power that. But it'll be fun to find out, and quite compact, so maybe it will go in something useful. And I believe these are relatively quiet compared with modern motors, so yeah, that'll be interesting to play around with. But let me know if you know a way to connect this to power functions or anything more modern, because that would be really useful to know. I can always Google it. One of those sort of roof pieces for a cab of a lorry, some arches, turntable, one of those old grabber pieces. Probably could use that at the harbour, but it hasn't got the spring on it. The bucket piece for a tipper truck. I think we've got the headlights for the tipper truck then as well, so we can make an old school tipper truck there. Hose. Post box. More of these hinge bricks. Hinge. Oh, I was looking. I haven't got any of those because they're really old, but they're actually quite useful, these ones, because they're quite stiff and you can do something quite interesting with them. So I was looking for something like that. There's another one in blue. When I was thinking of playing around with that sort of Antonov idea of having a hinged front on an aircraft. So that's really interesting. And then some old hinge bricks that way in old grey. And one of those Technic bits. And then last but not least, loads of windows. Now, the thing to say about these is that they're 5 tall, which isn't too bad with a minifigure, but is a lot smaller than, well, not a lot smaller, just 1 brick smaller than the usual ones that we have nowadays, which are 6 bricks tall. But that's easily fixed. You just mount them on a brick and then they'll be the same height as everything else and just start a bit higher up. So that's all right. It doesn't quite work like that, though, if you're going to use the door. So that's one of the doors from the motorcycle shop, as you can probably tell with that helmet. That's supposed to be a motorcycle helmet. And then that's the other half of the door. I think that probably had a sticker back in the day. It's very dirty at the moment, but you could use them as a double pair. So are they a bit low for use? I don't know, not too bad. I mean, that's probably realistic to real life, actually, if you're a tall person anyway. So, yeah, that's not too bad. So we've got some interesting red doors, a nice pair of them. Yes, because they've got a top and a bottom, and that is the bottom of both. So it is a matching pair. So that's good. One window to go. Oh no, two windows to go with them in red, and two for something else in yellow. And I think the glass pops out of these. Might be wrong. They look a bit fixed, actually. Yeah, I think they are fixed. Old school white door. Big wide windows. Don't suppose you've got any of the blue windows. No, they're really hard to get. Some blue doors. They'll be good for cargo as well. Yeah, lots of these window shutters. Little windows. Yeah, it could be good to use those. Sort of one a floor. Almost looking like bathroom windows or something like that on a skyscraper, wouldn't it? Really nice. But these are really old ones because you can see how they fit over studs. It's very different from modern connections to go like that. Yeah, so you youngsters won't remember those at all. But yeah, they're very interesting, different shapes for use around the city. So, wow, Christoph, a really good mixed bunch there. My favourites, I think, are these shell ones, especially these old ones. I absolutely love these. They're absolutely amazing. And then the other firm favourite is clearly the Black Spaceman. Oh, fantastic with the original helmet shape and everything. But these classic space parts and this set of red small windows and double doors are just begging to be used on something. So that is really good. It's good to have a quantity that is enough for one store. So that is absolutely great. So thanks very much again for those. Let's get on to my package. I've pointed in two different directions. It's over there. And we'll see what comes in there. Well, that was an absolutely fantastic start. But let's get on to the one that I purchased from bricklink.com. And we'll see what this one's like. Oh my word. I think I might have bought from this person before because they're the person that clearly has a free supply of postal padded envelopes because they put everything individually in one, and this will take me an age to do. So I'm definitely going to pause it again and get into all of these before going through it. Oh, what a strange way to pack. Well, I've got to say, padded envelopes is a very weird way of packaging individual Lego pieces. And the weird thing is, one would have a big piece in it and a couple of minifigures. The next one would have just a big piece in it, and next one to have two mini. It didn't make any sense at all. But anyway, I've unpacked it all. And what we've got is, first of all, quite a few of these corner burps, or as they're called, merps. For medium. I mean, I think they're about the biggest. But anyway, that's what they're called. So there we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. One with 3 free bricks on it. Fantastic. So that'll help with the under the sea cabinet. We've already going to be using 2 of these corner ones on the bit that we've done for the lab, the secret lab in the corner. So, many more will be used throughout the entire cabinet, I'm sure. So that's a good start. Then another big piece that fortunately had its own envelope, so it didn't get too scratched, is this rather fantastic trans blue dome piece. Now this is the hinged one, exactly the same as the tan ones that I used 2 of on my LPG ship transporter. That's actually a missile boat. So yeah, no surprises there in a sense, but I've never had one in this blue, and I was thinking of maybe using it on my underwater base. Or as an underwater, I don't know, plant with maybe things coming out of here, because there is an attachment on the inside as well. So this was on 2 sets back in the day, including 6195, Neptune Discovery Lab from 1995. So yeah, I could use it as a turret, much like it is in that station, with people working on the inside. And it needs sort of almost like a big control tower type base so it looks like there's stairs going up into it. Otherwise, the only way the divers could get in would be by opening the lid, which doesn't seem very realistic. The only problem with this in my cabinet as a base is that it's dark blue and everything else I've got isn't. So it would be a bit unique for that reason. So yeah, ideas for that, but I just like it, and it's big and it was relatively well priced. So yeah, definitely needs something. So ideas for that. Then we're really army building as part of this haul because there were a few small pieces that we'll come to that I really wanted from this seller, and they were very well priced. But then while I was there, and the reason why I committed to actually buying from them was because they had loads of things that I'm army building for. So we've got 2 rock monsters in the green colour, and that, as everyone should know, is Boulder Axe, unique to the set 8957, the Mine Mech from 2009. So it's relatively common because that was a smaller set, but weirdly I don't have that many of them. So I'm thinking of a massive army of these. I kind of want a swarm of them. So you imagine we're underground and we've got about, 20 or 30 of them all sort of surging as a massive sort of massed attack on the miners and the mining vehicles. That's what I'm going for. So 2 more of those for about £1 or £1.50 each is really good for me. Another thing that I'm army building, as you'll no doubt be aware, is the foot soldiers from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that came in quite a few sets actually, including 79101, Shredder's Dragon Bike from 2013, which isn't the best set, I don't think. But the figure's the same, so I'm not too worried. And they were £1 each. So I bought all he had, which was 6. So we've got 1 there, 2. Look, are they all going to stand up? Not if I keep knocking them down, they won't. 3, 4 with some free knives, which is good actually, because I was looking for some knives the other day and I'd ran out. So basically, fantastic. There we go. 2 free knives. 4, 5. And not 6. We've got one of these, though, that I didn't order. So maybe that was a mistake. Or maybe he realised he didn't have 6 and he had one of these. I don't even know what this is. Oh, he's got blue hair, or she. I don't even know if it's a he or a she, with funny black horns. I don't know if it's an alien. But I could definitely use that head piece or hair piece as an alien in my cantina, I suppose. Kind of got an angry face there. And, more kind face. Oh, she's got kind of pink lips. I'm thinking it's a woman. A female monster, alien type creature. Could be off Overwatch or something. I don't think it's Star Wars, because I'd recognise it from the films or something though, wouldn't I? Oh yes, if you look at the torso, it's clearly a lady. So we've got a gold arm and a white arm. No idea. I'm going to look in the catalogue after this. I guess because they're only £1, I won't really complain. It's quite interesting to get something completely different and new to me. So yeah, I never would have bought it. Good. Another cheap £1 minifigure is the Deep Sea Captain that was on the Deep Sea Exploration Vessel 60095, which is the one that's in a cabinet with the magnetised stuff on the bottom that we added Boaty McBoatface tiles to last time. So I've got another one of that. It's mainly for the pieces, really, the torso, and this dark blue cap, which is relatively hard to get. So that is good, and it's what's used by the new train conductors on the Lime train that I call the Python. So if I want to give another one a blue cap that had a hairpiece, I'll need it for that. But, all good for £1, isn't it? Good. Right. Then we've got these pieces, which you might instantly recognise as the dress pieces from the Minnie Mouse minifigure from the Disney Series 1. And this was a very speculative buy, but I thought I could use them that way around with sort of tentacles coming out of that as either a monster's mouth with sort of spots around the outside, kind of like a Demogorgon, but, bigger in a way, or even a coral for the same sort of thing. So it might be a bit too spotty for a coral, but then maybe it'll look absolutely perfect, and it won't be that side we're looking at most. So it might not even matter. But imagine you've got 2 sort of planty things like that. Yeah, it could be really interesting. So I'm quite glad I bought those, actually. And they're sort of differently symmetrical. So if you have them both facing opposite directions, they'll look a bit different than they actually are. Fantastic. Another piece that I was very keen to see was these old school pointy helmets from the old Castle line. And it's very important that they're pointy because they're the ones I was missing off that wonderful haul, that package I was gifted a way back when I got, amongst other things, some original Black Falcons archers. And although I like this style of helmet with the nose guard and stuff like that, I always thought of archers as having this type of helmet. So I'll use those ones on other guys, but for these two archers, I really want to use the pointy helmet. Oh, yes. That is an itch scratched, if you ask me. Fantastic. Yes, much better. So they'll be not wasted, but now we've finished off these. And when I finally get building my new castle, what's it called? The Lion King's Castle, whatever the brand new one is, I can add those to the surrounding area. Cool. Then we've got this, which is an Atlantis Manta warrior. Now, it's the keychain one, so he's got a tiny bit of keychain in his head, and that's deliberately why I bought him, so he won't sort of come apart or anything like that. But basically, I already had one, being the Atlantis Portal Emperor, as the key ring to one of the keys for my cabinet, 20,000 Bricks Under the Sea, for when I open it up and start building. But there's another key for the other side, so I thought it'd be fun just to have a different Atlantis keychain. So all I need is to find another ring like that, and I can stick it on the other key, and we'll have two nice little key rings that are easy to find and turn when they're in place. So that's really nice. I'm glad I got that. And he was cheap because he's, well, a bit broken. Then we've got another army builder. Yes, this is the Swamp Monster. And when you've seen me starting to use these on my undersea cabinet as part of the poor victims of the secret lab, but we'll see more of those in that cabinet, and that's why I need more of them. And I've had these so often you probably know exactly what set they came from, so you can say it along with me all together. They come from the set 9461, The Swamp Creature from 2012. Yep, that's right, guys. That was the Monster Fighter set that had this in, and yeah, it's just great to get loads of these, and he looks in really good condition. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Want a bit of an army of those. I probably got enough because we got some of these last time. I've got this one, and I got a bag of about 6. I've used 2. I'm going to use 2 more on Friday. So yeah, we've still got quite a few left. Another cheap minifigure is this Mighty Micros Hulk. That came from the set 76066, Hulk vs. Ultron from 2016. And this is to represent somebody who's gone to the Comic-Con in the airport hotel in my city. Somebody who's put green paint all over their face and is having a great time in their Hulk costume. Because clearly he's not big enough for real Hulk, who would be about that big, like the one used on that advert for anger management that I did recently. So yeah, I can pretty much give him a wash and put him straight in the city in that scene. Yeah, just one face on that. But I thought with it being a minis one, the micros one rather, that the funny, different sort of non-serious Hulk face would be better for a fan having a great day rather than a real facsimile of the actual real-life Hulk. Then we've got a skeleton. If I see a skeleton for cheap, I'll buy it because they're always useful for Halloween and for spooky scenes and for under the sea. And this one's a little bit different, according to the catalogue, with its torso and stuff, because it apparently is unique to the 10676 Knight's Castle from 2014. But that might just be on account of it having slightly different arms to another one that came before or something. It's not important for collection purposes. It's just me getting another skeleton. So that is great. I'll use him somewhere prominently because he's actually quite good with quite a pronounced spine. I think he's different on the front to the back. Yeah, slightly different, so that's good. Yeah, I like him. Ooh, a bit wobbly. There we go. And then some really interesting pieces. So there's this, which is one of the wonderful Nexo Knights books, and this one is the Book of Destruction. Open the book, read its pages. Now, when I bought this, it was supposed to just be this piece, the trans-orange sort of cover of the Book of Destruction, but it turns out that it seems to be attached to the back of the Book of Destruction and contain the pages of the Book of Destruction. So I've got a really good deal there. Very happy with that. So that's a sort of listing error, I suppose, on their part. But it does mean that the pages of the Book of Destruction that I got in another haul, I've now got a duplicate of. So I don't need that anymore. Oh well, I'm trying to collect them all. The only one I've got so far, as you might remember, is the Book of Chaos. Only the outside of it, and the inside of that at the moment is the Book of Evil, I think it is. So yeah, I need the the inside of that one, the outside of that one, and about 4 more. So that'll be a long-term collection. But yeah, one step at a time. This is my first complete one, so that's good. Yeah, really like those. I don't know why. I just I don't know, have an uncontrollable urge to collect them all. So that was on 2 sets, including 70323, Jestro's Volcanic Lair from 2016, where I love that sort of pit of Sarlacc type bit at the front there. Looks very nice indeed. So there we go, that's that. Another piece that I've wanted for quite a long time is this, and it is the Crystal Skull from the aliens in that, the Crystal Skull Indiana Jones movie. And it's a clear piece, and you can kind of see suspended in the middle of it is a blue brain, just like in the film. Now, there were 3 sets that included this, and there were 3 individual items of it in the 7627 Temple of the Crystal Skull from 2008, which looks like a very complicated set, if you ask me. I can't quite work out what's going on there. But they were all from the film Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which, as anyone will tell you, is clearly by far the very, very best Indiana Jones film ever. Not. What were they thinking? I felt a bit distressed after seeing that in the movie theatre, I must say. But anyway, yeah, it's not a patch on the other 3, which are very firm favourites in the Hood household. But yeah, I thought this could be used as a scene, using, not from this haul, but one of my Alien Conquest aliens. So if I just pull this guy out of his seat, then I thought if I took off his head, and replaced it kind of with this head, and maybe got rid of his hands as well. Can you get clear hands? I'm not even sure you can, actually, but if you can, get some clear hands, and if not, maybe just take them out or give them white hands to their bones or something, and then maybe put him back in his spacecraft and have it crash landed somewhere, and then maybe it's an alien relic from many, 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 many years ago. And I think that'd be quite a funny scene. And maybe that's why all the Alien Conquest aliens are buzzing around Brick Nottingham, because maybe this is what they're looking for. Or maybe it's under the waves of the 20,000 bricks under the sea cabinet, sort of wedged into the seabed. Who knows? But that was the idea that I had for that. And I think it works rather well. It kind of does look like a dead alien even more here, especially when I do something with the hands. So yeah, I'm going to be straight in the catalogue seeing if you can get trans clear ones. I'm not sure you can. Anyway, so there's that head. Put this guy back together and over there. Jolly good. And then last but not least, I've got 3 bits of armour. Now these are pearl light grey, and they're all the same, but they were very keenly priced. And I thought this might be a quick way to do some sort of army building for my castle. A long plan to have it being attacked by lots of baddies, maybe including these guys who came with all sorts of Black Falcon sets, including the battering ram from 1987, 6062. But I thought, I'm going to have loads of defenders as well. And the reason why these will be good for army building is you can get a really normal, cheap minifigure that's just got a grey torso like this, and any old face, really, and then put that on him, put the head back on. You'll need a helmet of some sort, but we've got a few left over now as well. And you've got a really good looking quality knight all in one. All he needs now is a sword or an axe or something. Doesn't need an expensive torso print or anything if you're just going to cover it up. So that was my thinking there. 3 of these. I can have 3 men-at-arms defending my walls, or maybe storming out underneath the portcullis over the drawbridge. I think that'll be really good. So we've got 3 of those as well. So that is the end of my Bricklink package, and it really was an army builder, wasn't it? We've got 1 for this army, 2 for that army, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 6 for that army, 3 for my Crown Troops army, 2 for the Rock Monster army, a cabinet key, skeleton, someone for the Comic-Con, bits and pieces, a book of destruction, read its pages, a dome, which I need your ideas for, loads of more merps, a couple of pieces for Under the Sea, and an alien scene somewhere or other, And of course, Christoph's wonderful contribution, which is absolutely great. And I forgot to give another honourable mention to that birdcage piece, which I can now take off my wanted list. Hurrah! Wow, what a haul. 2 wonderful packages, and I must say I'm very happy with both of them. There was one piece I forgot over here, which was just a 16 by 16 plate, so not too exciting in light bluish grey. Yeah, loads of things for loads of projects, and well, food for thought for quite a few new ones as well, like using those windows, motorbikes, the motor, these homemaker pieces, and all these printed bricks. Wow, thanks again, Christoph. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. Do also give me your ideas for my blue trans dome over here. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, we will be going back to the 20,000 Bricks Under the Sea cabinet to hopefully finish off our undersea secret lab with lots of these fellas in it. And then on Monday, we'll be back to the mall for the next part of that, where we'll be going on to the 3rd floor, of course. Wow, can't wait. Nearly at the end of that wonderful series. It'll be a shame it'll end, but it'll be great to see it in the city as well, won't it? Anyway, until all of that, see you! Right. Who are you?